he acknowledges that this letter doesn't set out the precise means or detailed legal proposals. In other words, it doesn't contain specific legislative ideas for addressing the sort of concerns that Mr. Cameron set out in that speech. And he says he has been encouraged by many of the conversations he's had with fellow EU leaders, clearly hopes that a deal is possible. And then he goes through exactly the same issues that he flagged up in the speech. In other words, the need to have protection for countries that are not in the single currency, so non-euro countries don't get pushed around, and that the EU doesn't become a single currency club. He talks about the need for greater competitiveness, stripping away red tape. Also talks about being given an opt-out from ever closer union and more powers for parliaments. But point number 4, here we go, immigration. And just reading through that, the only thing that just struck me as I was quickly reading through it, he says at the end of that section, I understand how difficult some of these issues are for other member states. And I think that probably is an acknowledgement of the harsh truth that the issues around benefit curbs is probably the big stumbling block for many other EU leaders, because Mr. Cameron's plans to impose a ban on EU migrants being able to claim benefits for 4 years, in the views of many of them, contravenes the basic EU rule around free movement of labour. It's viewed as discriminatory because it would mean, in effect, that a Polish worker working alongside a British worker wouldn't get paid as much because they wouldn't get tax credits. That would simply be viewed as discriminatory. It would flout free movement of labour because some workers, i.e. non-British workers, would be deterred from coming to work in Britain because they wouldn't get as much money. So that is the real problem. Mr. Cameron seems to acknowledge it, although I notice in this letter he does not allude, as far as I can see, to his willingness to adopt a more flexible approach, which he clearly did indicate in his speech when he suggested he would be ready to look at different options when it came to addressing the question of EU migrants' benefits. And here it is, he signs it off. Yours, David. I hope and believe that together we can reach agreement in each of these 4 areas. If I can, I am ready, says David Cameron, to campaign with all my heart and soul to keep Britain inside a reformed European Union.